EP30. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Actually, it is this evening. We got a very special guest on in a little bit. He's just trying to get some stuff fixed on his end. Hey, tonight, of course, my name is Mark, and the co-host here next to me is Udi, the trail master at Puppets himself. What's up?
Good evening.
Good evening. Hey, tonight we're talking about the new Explore Key Magic Key details were released yesterday, and then also some new line information for wheels versus no wheels, and we'll talk about the Indy Fast Pass. Single rider lines now on the Disneyland app. So let's go to the intro music, that banger that we all know and love.
Banger.
Yeah. All right. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
You know, it's hectic. We were talking about this before the show. It's just, I don't know, sometimes life gets busy and crazy, and that's today's one of those days for me as well.
Yeah, and we have, and Christmas is next week, and we're going.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm so surprised that Christmas is coming so fast. It just seems like it was the summer, and here we are already.
Are you kidding me, dude? I felt like it was January.
Yeah.
Only but a minute ago.
No. So we're gonna have ThemeParkConductor on in a few moments. He's getting some stuff ready on his end. As soon as I see him on, I will let you guys know, and we will bring him on. At this point, though, do click and subscribe to the channel. I think we're at 67. Let's get to 70 before Christmas.
That's all that Mark wants. That's all.
Yeah. And then for those of you that are in the Sacramento area, do keep pay attention to the social media, because we're gonna start to do our trivia nights probably once a quarter. We had a fantastic show last night to celebrate both Jess's and Udi's birthday. To Udi's surprise, that
was pretty cool, guys. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, quite a few people showing up.
Yeah.
And it was just a great time. And Gary, thanks for coming out last night to talk to you.
Awesome to sit down and get to talk to you and hang out for a little while.
Yeah, it means a lot that you able to drive across town. It was about a 45-minute drive, he said, for that. But again, if you're in the Sacramento area, we would love to see you and just talk and have some fun doing some crazy trivia stuff. And all really good people. And some people last night that don't listen to the show were dressed up in Disneyland gear, just showing up because they saw it. And so I appreciate you guys. You guys aren't watching this, I know, but at some point you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Talk for a second, Udi, because I got to text him.
Okay. So I will go off real quick and compliment both my good friends Jess and Mark. I want to thank them both. Mark got put in charge of the task that I do not want to do ever, and they know it, is coming up with the questions. And I am not good at that. No. So I appreciate Mark because he did all 45 and they were good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I wound up winning the first round, which was fun.
And you wanna okay. Oh, hold on. ThemeParkConductor should be ready to go.
Okay.
It says he's here. Let's see.
Mr.
Conductor.
I still can't hear him.
Now you can hear me.
Yes. What a treat it is to have you on the show tonight.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I really enjoy having you on, and we got OG55 on the next show, or both of you guys. Anytime, like I said, anytime you want to come on and talk, we will definitely love to have you on. And we want to do another Conductor Live on a Sunday night sometime with you.
Oh, definitely. No, it was a great time having both of you and OG on. Like I said, when I had all four of us going, man, I felt like we could talk for hours on it. And I mean hours.
Yeah.
Because we all share that same chemistry.
Yeah.
It's totally bizarre. It's awesome.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is because, you know, you admit it. You kind of started going on a little bit of a run there.
I did.
And then I kind of sat there and I went like, you know what? Like, this is his show. I'm going to let him run. But I was like, quietly in the background, do one of these. Go, 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 go. Yeah, because I was like, yup. I just, and I didn't want, I stopped nodding because I'm like, I'm going to hurt my neck nodding so much. But yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, I can't wait. That was a lot of fun.
Well, see, it just, my whole thing is it irritates the heck out of me that we pay all these insane prices. And my number one beef is, what do they have to show for it? It's something that drives me literally crazy. So I'm like, you know, I feel like our viewers, you know, on my channel, on OG's channel, on your guys' channel, we all share the same thought process. Because nowadays it's kind of, it's still, it's getting a little bit better, but it's still to the point where we're having to pick and choose what we want to do. We don't have that luxury anymore of just saying, you know what, hey, we've had a couple tough weeks at work. We want to escape from work and just go to Disneyland. We have to pick and choose when we do these extra things. We can't just have the luxury of just doing it whenever. So it's kind of a back and forth game almost.
Yep. Hey, Mark, do you want to throw the chats real quick and just so we can address them real quick? I want to make sure.
Okay. Jason says happy birthday, and Udi's birthday is December 28th.
Thank you.
Nice. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Psycho Panther, what's up, boys?
Hey, what's up, Psycho?
Well, that's Gary, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it is Gary. Yeah.
I always forget because I'm so used to now Gary Bear and Gary, so it is.
Yeah. Lewis, what's up, brother? You know, you come on the show anytime. And please says, what's up? What is up?
What up?
What up? Conductor, on our last podcast that you were on, the opening question was, what are two things that you bring to the park every time you go? What's in your bag? Or do you carry it?
I do carry a bag.
Okay.
Two of the things I bring for sure, on absolutely every single trip at the parks is my little mini tripod and my DJI mic setup for if I do a live or I film a POV in the parks.
Yeah,
it's easier for the audience, at least from what I've been told when I first started the channel. It's easier for them to hear my voice if I have that mic set up compared to just using my phone with no mic set up, because it's like between the crowds and then, you know, all the music they're pumping in the parks, it's hard to hear myself, and you know, they can't hear me. So having the mic set up is something that's crucial to my go bag when I go to the parks.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, good. So the tripod and something. Okay, gotcha. Awesome. I forgot what Udi's was. It was probably some sort of something ridiculous, like a knife. He could pocket knife, you said, right?
No, I remember. We had the conversation where I carried a pocket knife with me, and it's actually my pocket knives are right over there.
Yeah.
I have 6 of them right there.
Oh, there you go.
No, it was a battery pack of some kind for the phone.
Yep.
And then it was like a hoodie, or depending on what it is, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was roughly that. But I remember the battery pack, and then I felt like I was something else when you said I couldn't pick that one. I forgot what it was now.
Oh, you said your phone is what you said.
I said, oh, my phone and a battery pack. And you're like, no, that's right. You said no.
Because everyone's bringing their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. And then yours was like what? Propel and a Cliff Bar. I remember that.
I bring Propel, the little powdered drink, because the water in Anaheim
is gross.
It's not. I'm not used to it. So, and plus, I tend to just go and go and go, and I burn through stuff and I end up getting a headache and stuff. And actually, maybe Advil is probably something I should start bringing out all trips.
Yeah. Advil would probably be your best friend. I definitely know when I go to Walt Disney World in March, I'm definitely bringing at least a bottle or two of Advil. I can probably do that.
Yeah, well, Conductor, before you go, like a month or so before you go, we need to have you on, and we're going to talk, and maybe the OG55 as well, to talk about what we think you're going to like and our strategy for what you should do, because I think, although I'm sure you're getting like tons of advice anyways.
Oh no. I actually encourage it. I would love to be on before I go, because I'm actually going to have and I think he's either still in Europe or he's on his way back to the States. But I've already confirmed at least a couple weeks out before I go on the trip, I will have Hey Bricky on the channel with Orange Go 55 and Tommy Toon World. And he's actually going to give us his advice on what we should definitely do at both resorts and what we should skip on. Because there's, when I've been told at Magic Kingdom, there are a lot of stuff you can avoid, because it's like, why would you want to do the same thing when you have it here? It's just at a bigger scale. Because when you think about it, Magic Kingdom itself they had a lot of land to kind of sprawl things out. Disneyland didn't really have that luxury, so they had to crunch everything in. But I don't know if you fellows watched my Disneyland or my reaction video with Orange Grove 55 that just ended a little while ago tonight. We filmed that yesterday, and I have to tell you, when Bricky was in Disneyland Paris, and this could be a whole nother video for you guys.
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris, the front of the little park they have, and then the Grand Hotel, even before you go into the park, is just absolutely breathtaking. And then when you walk in, their Main Street USA, I don't think, a lot of people are kind of going back and forth in the chat during the premiere saying, oh, well, you can't underestimate, our Main Street in Disneyland, because Walt Disney had a hand in that. But I have to tell you, from the footage that Bricky filmed, I'm going to be honest with you, their Main Street out there in Paris comes to a very close tie for first with our Main Street. It looks absolutely just breathtaking. They went in intimate detail in every inch of their Main Street. There is not one little flaw that I saw. And on top of that, just when he was showing the snow blowing from the top of the rooftops on Main Street, you couldn't even tell it was coming from blowers. You honestly thought, just by looking at the sky, that it was actually snowing from the weather out there. It was beyond magical. And there's 2 other videos he put out, and me and Orange Grove 55 are going to be doing more reaction videos of his trip in Paris. And it's a new series we did on his channel, and we're going to continue to do it because people love it.
Awesome. Yeah. I love to. I'll be tuning in for that for sure. A few years ago, my daughters got a chance to go to Disneyland Paris, and they absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. Got some comments here already. Please, love how you guys tell the truth about Disney. I'm so tired of all the rah. Disney can do no wrong attitude with so many people. Sometimes you got to tell the truth. I appreciate the comment, and thank you. We definitely strive to do that. From day one, we said we're going to be an honest podcast, and we are. We still are. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of honed into conductor stuff right off the bat, because he was saying stuff. I'm like, yep, this guy's telling the truth. He's not sugarcoating it. I go, we got to talk to this guy. And same with OG55. They're just dropping facts. And I appreciate that. Oh, Conductor's got his fans here. Haunted Mermaid 13. Hi, Conductor. All right. What is this one? Welcome in, everyone. Please hit the like and subscribe to Theme Park Conductor. Yes, subscribe to Theme Park Conductor. Also like our show too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jason said we're chatting about Bricky's DLP trip on Saturdays. We have co-hosts from the UK. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Please says Bricky is legit. And
Yes.
then who is this? Cool God 12. Thanks, Mermaid 13. Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Go ahead.
No, I don't always agree with Bricky. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, sometimes I don't agree with him either, but but for the most part, I think he does really good work, and I admire that just the effort he puts into it.
The one thing that he does for sure is he puts a lot of thought into everything. He doesn't just kind of whatever. You can tell, like, he's put deep thought into what he's talking about, and I appreciate that because we do the same. So we can disagree. Like I've seen a couple videos where I'm like, dude, you are. But
I don't agree with you sometime either.
No, you do.
So it's like I think you're wrong.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing is like all I'm trying to say is that I'm glad that we can encourage the conversation.
Oh, sure. No, no, absolutely. And one thing I think we can all agree on, like Udi was saying, was the fact that he takes the time and effort to put, into his videos. He does the research and he puts it out there so all of us other content creators, even the fans of the Disney theme parks and just theme parks in general that watch these videos, can kind of decipher it for themselves, what they think about it, and have differences in opinions. That's what I love about it. And he's even stated it multiple times himself. He's like, I actually sat down with them at Disneyland back in last May when the Disneyland 70th was happening. We sat down for a couple hours, and my God, I felt like I was just like soaking it all in, because he was saying how much time and effort he puts into every single video.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get to the first news topic of the evening. And to one more thing about Bricky is like, we don't always agree with him, but
sure,
he's very good at getting the conversation started.
Yeah,
and that's to me really important because there's been many times where I don't agree with someone right off the rip, but then through conversation I go, oh yeah, I totally see your point now, and it makes me think about things a little bit different, and that actually helps me. So what is the first topic here? Let's see if we can get this going. Let's see if we can get all of us on here. And this is Disneyland. Oh man, see, this thing goes crazy sometimes. There we go. Disneyland testing positive change to security screening process. Did you know about this, Conductor?
I heard about it. We haven't done a video on it just yet, so I'm glad I'll be talking to you gentlemen about it, because I'm sure we can duke it out and nerd it out, because there's a lot to go with this, so I can't wait.
Okay, so this is courtesy of Mickey Visit. It looks like some of it's cut off, so I'm going to read it to you. Disneyland appears to be trying out a new change that will speed up the security screening process. We think if they keep this new approach, it could really be positive change that streamlines the process. And what they're saying, wait a minute, is this the wrong? Oh yeah, I'm sorry here. Right now we're seeing reports of Disneyland testing the new wheels and no wheels security lanes at Disneyland. This looks like it means that groups with strollers and wheeled mobility devices go through a designated line, and those without go in another. This should be a positive change that streamlines the screening process. Strollers and wheeled devices go through additional screening where cast members will check the compartments. At each security checkpoint, there has always been a main table area for guests with bags and a middle area for strollers to be checked. Having wheeled devices all in one line means cast members are able to give clearer instructions and work more efficiently, as they're doing the same type of security screening for everyone in the line. All right. What do you guys think about that?
So if I can just ask clarification, this is for the security zones. This is not for the front gates, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
The reason why I bring it up is because I think Mickey and friends, because you guys have probably gone through that security checkpoint, they do have certain lanes where there's bag lanes, no bag lanes, stroller lanes. Now, the other security zones don't have that, and I kind of feel like that's something Disneyland as a resort shouldn't have jumped on immediately. If you have it at one security checkpoint, why don't you have it at all of them? It makes zero sense to me, because you want the constant guest flow to work on all areas of the park. Because if you let's say you're meeting up with, let's say, for example, I'm meeting up with you guys right at the Disneyland Resort, and I go through the Mickey and Friends security structure, and I get on the tram. By the time I get on the tram, I'm dropped off in downtown Disney, and I'm already waiting in line, at the Disneyland front gates to walk in, and you guys are still stuck at one of the security zones because every single lane has strollers, has people that need extra help with trying to understand what's going on.
Right.
That's an issue, and I see that as a big problem, and it's only going to persist because once the Eastern Gateway project gets underway, and they start building that pedestrian bridge on that far side of the Esplanade, that security zone is going to close off. So now you only have, I think it's 3 security zones. You have one by the old ESPN zone building. You have one on the other side by the Disneyland hotels. And then the other one is at the Mickey and Friends parking structure.
Yeah.
So they got to get the system implemented and effective and work all the kinks out before they close that 4th security zone for the Sky Bridge that's going to go over harbor.
Yep. No, I completely agree. I think, well, we all have to deal, sadly, with the headache of security these days. So it's kind of one of those things that we all have to, we can all bemoan, but at the end of the day, we have no choice, but we got to deal with it, right?
Right.
So I'm glad they're doing that. Whatever they can do to pick up the process. To be fair, though, the last time I was in the park, the last few times I was in the park, I never waited that long through security. Now, I know it varies, and I also know that when I go in, I have a tendency to be in front of a lot of people because I'm there early. So I get it. The bulk of the people showing up at, they're not coming in a rope drop, they're not ahead of the game, and they're just there doing whatever. It always backs up. So I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're doing this. And I would go even a step further, literally go like strollers, mobile devices in their group, you're in that lane. If you have bags, you're in this lane. If you have nothing, you're in that lane. And I really think that that would be the best way to handle that, because then you can go. So if you're your group and you have a bag, you go, well, we'll stay with the group. How many people or have a small bag, and you can just go through it real quick. So I for me, no offense, if we go and Mark has the backpack, I'm like, deuces, Mark, I'm out. I'm gonna run right through.
I usually have like the crossbody bag now. I don't carry the backpack around so much anymore. Or bring it, but I think I've streamlined down to the crossbody bag that I got, and then it's super easy. And I think this is a good idea. Because I've been in line where people get impatient and they get upset with the people in front of them, and I don't say anything. I'm just kind of walking around. I'm just kind of watching people's attitude, but I'm thinking, dude, you could be anywhere else right now, but you're in line to go into Disneyland. So just relax, give it 15 minutes, and in about 15 or so minutes, you're going to be walking through the gate, and everything's going to be better. But just, dude, you have no idea how lucky you are to be in this lane right now.
Yeah. When I would have that small piece of advice. When you're in line for security to go into the park, and you feel like it's going slow, stop for a second, take a deep breath, and go like, I could be at the DMV.
Yeah, true. You could.
The post office. Trust me, I was at the post office last week, and the amount of anger and negative energy I felt in that line was unbelievable.
Udi, you're
dude. Behind me cussing, people in front of me cussing. I'm just smiling, going, "Well, we'll get through it when we get there." This guy over here yelling at I was like, "Wow, all right."
You're speaking my language, man. I was at the post office of like a month ago, and it took like 45 minutes to get through line. So believe me, I know all the standard of that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I get
Yeah,
it.
whatever Disney, good. Keep on going with that. You're right, conductor. I mean, they need to get this really refined and going. And to be fair, they've been doing security for so long.
Yeah.
But I don't, and they, like I said, to me, they've done a pretty darn good job of getting pretty quick.
Yeah.
Even with the complicated ones that we've all seen.
Yeah.
But even them, I honestly, I've never, even with Mark when he got in trouble. Even then they handle it very well. They're a little stern with Mark. I think that they went a little too far with Mark.
Yeah.
It's not like they, put him in cuffs and put him in a paddy wagon, but yeah, no, they've always been really good, polite, and moving people as quickly as they can through there.
Sure.
So, so in typical Disney fashion, they keep the customer and they keep the show going. And then, they, whatever they do, good. And just go faster.
Yeah, to that end, he's talking about this. This is the.
Oh yeah, there you are.
This is a digital recorder. It just records audio. It was pulled out of my bag, and I was told to get out of line and get a pat down. And then extra security guards came and surrounded me.
I have pictures somewhere.
Questions.
I have pictures somewhere. I got to find them. I have pictures.
And I said, "You guys have got to be kidding me." And they go, "We don't know what it is." I go, "This is a digital recorder. It just records audio." And then I go,
"Did you play it? Didn't you do it?"
I go, "No." I go, "This phone I have is much more of a, can do a whole lot more than this digital recorder can."
Yeah, they're arguing about recording and people, and I remember it. Like I said, I was through the line and I'm watching, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And
it was a spectacle. It was ridiculous. Anyways,
I had fun. I had fun watching.
Conductor, when you go to the Magic Kingdom parks, you're going to find out that their security process is so much more of an elegant solution than what we have.
Oh,
it's so fast. You're going to go, "Oh my gosh, what is going on? We need to bring this part back."
You're telling me, man.
Yeah. So I think this is good. I don't see any complaints about this from anybody. I don't see how anyone's going to have anything negative about this. But anyways, I think that is a positive change.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're doing that. Okay, next item. Now this isn't really new, but it's new that the fact that this thing now is showing up on the park map. And this just happened a couple of days ago. So the single rider, for those of you who don't know, the single rider is available for Indiana Jones. Now, I didn't even know that. I mean, the last time I was there, it didn't even occur to me to use that. I've never done it there. Have you done it, Conductor?
No, okay. I have not. So this is new to me as well. And something I like about this, because Indiana Jones is one of those attractions that literally, I kid you the freak not, gets high wait times when it's operating. So I'm glad they're adding this.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is just a test beta run and see what the results are gonna result in. And I hope they're positive. I hope they keep this around, because one thing that the parks like to do, whether it's Disney or Universal, they like to kind of tease us with, "Oh, we're going to do single rider for a while and then strip it away," kind of like what Universal Orlando did with Velocicoaster. I don't know if you guys heard about that. They just recently, in the last couple weeks, took away single rider for that roller coaster. So, it's just a back and forth type situation. I've even seen it here at the Disneyland Resort, where they've gone back and forth with the single rider situation. So hopefully it's here to stay for quite some time.
And I'm on the fence with this one. Well, I don't mind it per se. Okay, I'm not really angry about it, but when it comes to this queue, anybody who's yammer on about it, this is one of the queues where I'm like, go slow.
Yeah.
Go really slow through that queue. Enjoy the queue. The queue's amazing. So, I mean, the only one that comes that close to that level of queue is Rise. I mean, same thing with Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
That queue, oh my Lord, it's great. So, you know, I don't mind it. Single rider for me, there are a few rides that I'm like attracted and I'm go for it. Like Radiator Springs, I'm all for it because the queue's a very basic queue.
Yeah.
Nothing to hang out. So if you can single rider, go for it. I'm a little bit different on this one because of how the queue is, the experience that they built for it when they originally conceived the whole attraction. Now, Disney's not at fault for not keeping it up and making sure all of it's running all the time. Because how many people know that there's a room in there where it's supposed to feel like it's collapsing in on you? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Things like that, you know? So I like it to that at a point, but at the other part of me, I'm like, these are one of the ones where I'm kind of like, but do you really need it? Do you really need it? So it's not a bad thing, but I get why people would want it, and if you want to go for it, you know?
Yeah, but so I have never been to the park by myself, and I don't. And do you, conductor? Do you normally go by yourself? Or you go with friends?
So normally I do go by myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Going by yourself
No,
at
not at
all.
all. No.
You know, to me, it's great to hang out with friends, but
Yeah.
if you're kind of like us in our space, in our community, trying to film content and whatnot,
Yeah.
you're almost like a man on the mission. You're kind of going location to location to location, and in between you're trying to enjoy the resort as well, so go on a couple rides and whatnot. So I can see why they want to implement the single rider through Indiana, but I do agree with Udi though. Indiana, you got Rise of Resistance, even oh my gosh, Mickey and Minnie's. The ride queue for that is absolutely incredible.
In fact, that's what Lewis said. Mickey Minnie's Runaway. Yeah, it's a stunning queue as well.
Yeah.
Udi has not been on that attraction yet, and I'm so curious for him to go on. He's going to be.
Oh no, I'm amped to go see it. I mean, I remember when they finally began to open. Remember, I sent you a video, Mark, of the show building. Remember?
Yeah.
Like I walked and they had everything up. I'm like, look at the size of this show building. I was like, holy smoke! So, yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned that, Udi, because I mentioned that with OG yesterday when we filmed the video that premiered tonight, and even past videos. I said, if you look at old school Disney compared to now, one of the things you see nowadays compared to old school is you have this great facade for the attraction. You have most of the time you have a decent, if not awesome, ride queue you walk through to get to the attraction. But somewhere in between, you see this huge, ugly, ginormous show building for the attraction. I get it. They have to put a lot in their infrastructure wise, lighting, track, all this other stuff, maintenance bay. But it's just like, if you look at that and then you look at, not to get cheesy, but Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, do you see a massive show building with that? Because I don't.
No.
So it's like you're staring at this thing. It's like, good God, just the amount of footprint it takes up for one attraction. It just cracks you up. That's why I kind of feel that when you look at Walt Disney World in a whole, and you look at Universal Orlando, and then you look at what's going on out here in California with our Disneyland, with our Universal, they're very nitpicky on what they bring to the resorts, both of them. Because there's space limitations compared to out there, where you can build these massive show buildings and get away with it because you have more room to work with.
Yep.
Very true.
Hold on. So John has a question. What is the LTP Lounge? I assume this is John. I don't know. I assume that's what their name is.
Yes.
So John, this is a show that augments our regular audio podcast, the Leaving Today podcast. It comes out every other Monday. We're starting season 10. That's year 10 in February. So Episode 235 just came out a couple days ago. And this is a show that the LTP Lounge is going to be every Wednesday, not next Wednesday, it's Christmas Eve, but every Wednesday where we have guests on and we talk about topics a little bit deeper, a little in depth, and we open it up to listeners to ask questions. And it's just a way for us to get to know you guys better and to expand the community and to bring great people on like Conductor. We get to learn from him and other people as well. So I hope that makes sense. But if it's something you want to get involved in, I encourage you to reach out and you can be on the show or you can contribute in the chat, and that's all fine and well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And 7H John is one of my followers. So him and Haunted Mermaid are very loyal, even Kiki and Luca and a bunch of them. So 7H John, if you're watching this, I definitely encourage you to go check out the LTP Lounge, because it seems like I'm going to be on their show quite frequently, and there's no discontinue there. So I always enjoy being on here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the answer. You're welcome, 7H Sean. Yes. Lewis says cries in Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at yeah, that's right. That's gone. Yeah. Oh geez. Okay.
There was a question a couple back. I think it was about cables. I don't know if you saw
that.
I saw that.
I don't know about that.
Have they fixed the cables in Indy? Is that like, I don't know what he's talking about there.
I wonder, 7H John, if you could post in the comments, I wonder if he's meaning the cables for the doors, like when you first start the ride, or the some other cables somewhere else. I'm not sure what he's talking about. If he's talking about the doors rotating, that's a broken effect that will
never come back
from
standing.
Yeah, no, it would take, it would destroy at least a good portion of the ride to fix that problem. They've already said it, because the manufacturer that originally built Indiana Jones, they've been long out of business. So they have no intentions, at least as far as I know, of fixing that. I think he just commented, because I'm watching on my phone. Yeah. To answer his question, no, it's not coming back. I wish it would. I just don't think. I don't think Disney would spend the money to rip half the traction apart to fix that. It's the same thing that I talk about all the time with other content creators on my show about the People Mover. It's just the People Mover and the Tomorrowland is just not. It's not a priority right now, and it's kind of sad in a way, because it's like, and we had this argument the other night, and maybe you guys can chime in on this.
Sure.
Me and OG were going on, and we're like, people, at least out in Orlando, they're saying, "Oh God, our Tomorrowland's horrible. This, that, this."
They got no idea.
I'm like, you guys have one of the best Tomorrowlands. You have the People Mover. You have the America Shows building, or American
Sings.
Yeah, American Sings with the new Walt animatronic that's going to be inputted in there. You got all this stuff, and then you go to ours. It looks like something you would see out of, Walking Dead. Like you walk into this land, and then like half the attractions are abandoned, and hell, I'm surprised we don't see cobwebs hanging down from some of these places, because it's just all vacant and whatnot. It's ridiculous.
Sad but true.
Sad. Yeah.
Well, but that honestly, that made me think. I wonder if they could come up with a workaround.
What do you mean?
For the doors. Because and the only reason why my mind popped in here is because it's something I'm actually literally dealing with at work the last few days, is that the primary way of doing a specific task was kind of missed, and we kind of went, that's kind of critical, but it's one of those weird things that's critical and you can miss it. And we're like, well, what are our options here? It has to be done. Like, it has to be done. There's no like, no, this has to be done. It's literally, if this doesn't get done, the whole system doesn't work. That level of a multiple floor, multiple air conditioning unit system completely doesn't work. And so we're like, well, we have no way of just letting that go. So let's figure it out. And so we found and created a workaround from the traditional way of doing it. Yeah. And this is when I'm like, I figured out, and we made something that could have been incredibly complex. Like the solutions that we started with were like, holy crap, that's going to take a while, to, oh, hey, we can do it this way and that way. And now we're shorter. So that's why I'm always wondering about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%. I want to give a shout out to one of our amazing mods, Haunted Mermaid 13, with the 199 super chat, and then 7H John.
Oh, yeah.
Made a great point as well, saying, can't they make the cables themselves? You would honestly think, after all the times that WDI has evolved to what it is today, going all the way back to when they were wed, when Walt Disney was alive and he started basically what his version was of Imagineering, you would honestly think with today's technology they would be able to fix that that effect. But again, I kind of feel like they have the technology to fix it. They just don't want to spend the money.
Right. That's it.
On an attraction. They want to, go in other areas, which they're doing. They're building the 2 Avengers attractions. Then they're going to be building the Coco dark ride based off the Shanghai Pirates. Then you got the Eastern Gateway project. Then you got Avatar. So to spend a ton of money on one attraction that's been around for 20 something years.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in Disney's focal point at this current time. It's not that they can't fix it, they just don't want to spend the money that it would cost to fix it when they have other projects going on at the resort that could be bigger.
You're right.
Okay. And no, I agree completely, but this is what I always go back to it. The need to maintain attractions to their optimal is something that pays off in the long run, right?
Sure.
The other part of it, I mean, because it does, right? This is why we do what we do. I mean, we found attractions and places in the park that were working optimal, and we fell in love with them, and they have held us for the entirety of our life, and will hold us all the way through. So this is where I get mad at Disney, because I'm like, you guys, like, you may be looking at the financial end of it, understand. But I'm like, you realize this is the investment for longer than you're going to be alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is way further. The other part of it too is like, to me, this isn't like development. This isn't product development. This isn't like special product. This is ride maintenance. This is ride upkeep. This is a different bracket than new attraction, new whatever. So I, in my mind, delineate between the two.
Yeah.
Like PMs, preventive maintenance. Something breaks down, you fix it. It's not the same thing as like, hey, I'm going to spend money to develop a whole brand new thing. Right. And to me, those are 2 different pockets and 2 different buckets to be working from, if not 3. So this is when I'm like, you guys, like,
right,
short-sighted, and you know where and you know exactly where I lay that mentality at. So,
sure. Well, if I might add, if I had a seat at the table at TDA, I would say, guys,
you'd be fired.
No, well, I would have been fired like years ago.
Yeah.
But assuming I made the cut, I would say, hey, folks, you have to remember who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're not. No disrespect to Six Flags or Cedar Fair, but we are flipping Disneyland, and we are Disney. We have a certain threshold that we owe to our customers, and people go, oh, as you mentioned before, Udi, when you say, oh, this is the Disneyland of XYZ, that means something. That means everything has to be top notch. Experiences have to be always a home run. Yeah. Because you know what? As much as Conductor goes or you and I go, guess what? Maybe someone's only going to go one time in their life. And that's something I tell my daughters quite often when we go. I go, guys, don't take any of this stuff for granted, because I mean, you have no idea how lucky we get to go 3 or 4 times a year. I mean, that's not a whole lot in the world of, content that we're doing, but some people only go once in their lifetime. And that's all to say that they need to invest in some of these attractions to make them running. And I would have no trouble. Hey, we're shutting this thing down for a few months to get this thing right. But then but I know they're thinking, oh, well, if we shut Indy down, we still need to charge Lightning Lane for people. Are people going to get, and that's one of the Lightning Lane things. So now what are we going to do? Oh, let's convert, Pirates to Lightning Lane for, so they're going to do all this nonsense.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
and you make a great point, Mark, because when you look at something like that, I agree with Udi though. If you can't even maintain what you have in the park right now, and then you're going to build more on top of that, then you're just adding more to the work list of projects that will have to be fixed, maintained, or updated throughout the years to come. And the problem I see is when you look at, and again, I've never been to any of the international parks on either both sides of the company, whether it's Disney or Universal, but I hear all the time that it's just the ride maintenance is so much better from what I've heard out there than it is here. But then again, we all have to remember that at one point in the early 2000s, the maintenance department here at Disneyland was horrendously awful, and almost like daily they were getting called out for it. And I mean daily. And to Mark's point, for people that might go maybe once a year, maybe once in their life, and they go and they have an open mind of, wow, I'm going to be here, I'm going to experience this stuff, and then you have half the attractions closed.
Yeah.
Or if the attractions are open, a lot of them are in B mode because they can't get the A mode working. It kind of puts a sour taste in these people's mouths. And I kind of feel like us as content creators in this theme park community reporting on these issues kind of gives that person or that family that might go once a year or might go once in their lifetime a better understanding of, okay, when would be the best possible time to go to the resort and experience something that I might only experience once in my life. Because the last thing you want to do is go to the resort and you have several of the top A list attractions down for maintenance or refurb or whatever the situation might be. So it's vital. But to Udi's point, though, it's like you're putting projects and attractions that have been there that need constant maintenance, to the side to build new things. And then once you build the new things and those things break down, and then you decide to build more new things, it's like, where is it end and where is it begin?
Yeah. And not to belabor the point, I always feel like I need to go back to the point this point. Disneyland is an amusement park company.
Sure.
Theme park company.
Theme park company. Thank you for the for correcting me. It's a theme park company. It isn't a movie company. It isn't a music company. It isn't a television company. It is a theme park company. The core of that company is the theme park.
Yeah.
Now, a certain leader, Bob Iger, has done everything in his power to make it not that. And I would say to the detriment of the park, and more specifically the domestic park. So yeah, and it is a complete directional choice by leadership, 100%. So we get new leadership in with the eye to the domestic park. Our critique, our complaints, our issues would begin to vanish. They really, really would. But it is completely a point of interest and a point of focus. So going to Conductor's point, it's not in their wheelhouse right now. Exactly, and that's the big issue.
So, but I want to make sure what we're complaining about. Are we complaining that they're building new attractions, or are we complaining that they're not maintaining the existing ones?
No, we're complaining that they're not maintaining it and keeping
Okay.
it. No, because and I understand the balance is difficult for anybody. That
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
tens of millions of dollars to create the new thing. Trust me. Again, I work in building. I get it how it is. I mean, the millions of dollars I see spent is like, so I get that aspect of it, but I work in something where people go to live, or people are going to go do their business. They're going to, whatever that could be. It's a different animal.
Sure.
This is for entertainment. This is for escape. This is for creating memories that last forever. This is for a lot of other things. So, and those are the underlying base issues that continue to revolve to continue to have the money keep on rolling in. So this is when we could talk about spoken wheel and all this stuff. There's a cycle. It's a broken part of the cycle. And the only working part for a very long time has been the amusement park. So movies and entertainment have been failing. Merchandise and everything else has been not as good as before. The park kept on going, and now that one's beginning to flicker. I'm telling you. Okay. Disney, you need to focus back up, come home, fix the parks, and then all of this will come around. So that's the core. That's the heart.
No, 100%. And I couldn't agree with you more. And we're starting to see this even with newer projects, like just recently. And I mean, literally in the last week and a half, the Bay Bakery that closed a couple years ago, and then Earl Sandwich moved in temporarily. Well, it seemed like it was going to be a forever thing. Mm-hmm. Then they finally just moved out. And they just threw construction walls up for now what Porto's is going to get built there. And it cracks me up. You have something like that where it was a back and forth issue. Why? Mm-hmm. I don't know. And then you sit there and you get rid of Tortilla Joe's.
Yeah, I love that place.
And they leave it vacant. So they tear everything down, leave it vacant, and do nothing with it. Then on top of that, you have the former ESPN Zone building, mm-hmm. where I thought ESPN Zone was a fantastic idea.
It's fun.
I thought it was absolutely incredible because a lot of times there were some times if they weren't filming in their Los Angeles location at that ESPN Zone and LA Live, they were at Downtown Disney at mm-hmm. that one filming mm-hmm. ESPN. With
content,
yeah. So it was awesome.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There was a couple times I walked in there, and they had the announcers and all that, the ESPN desk. They had the big cameras, everything, and they were engaging with the crowd, and it was awesome. And then mm-hmm. right next door, you had the Rainforest Cafe, which was absolutely mm-hmm. incredible. I loved it. Some people might have thought it was cheesy. I didn't think so. I thought it was just an immersive experience.
Yeah.
And now they just keep that building there and only use a quarter of it for a Star Wars store, which, I see people go in there, but I don't see too many people, walking out with merchandise.
No.
And then it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with this building? And then kind of going back to ESPN Zone, that thing's been behind construction walls and closed up for a while. And now all of a sudden we're getting this Lululemon store, and now we might be getting some other stores.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys need to figure this crap out, man. Because I see, I'm going on another rant.
I love this.
You could tell I'm going on another rant because it drives me nuts. It all circles around to what Udi was saying about ride maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about Downtown Disney stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the future project. It's like, oh my God, you want to charge me basically $2,000 for an Inspire key, but yet you're going to give me nothing for the next 5 years. It's like, what in the hell am I doing here? Compared to Universal, I'm paying a fraction for their top tier pass. I'm getting a freaking brand new roller coaster. I'm getting all sorts of updates and new restaurants in our city walk over here. And what is Disney doing besides, throwing a construction wall up after a year and a half of back and forth with Porto's?
Mm-hmm.
Conductor, but you're getting a very cool magnet. You know that, right?
Oh, I am.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I am.
I think 7H John says, I think executives may not have realized that all of the other subsidiaries and other revenue streams performance are now tied to the park's performance.
No, I would say that they knew that, but they didn't care. They used those subsidiaries. Well, I'm sorry. Let me bring that back. They use a park to subsidize those.
Yeah.
So yeah, those they again we go back to the well-known cycle, right? It's IP, merch, park, IP, merch, park, IP, merch, park. Round and round and round it goes. So yes, they're all tied in together, and they know it. But what they're failing in is they're not. Again, like I was just saying earlier, they're not recognizing that this part of it is that's been feeding that is failing now because these two have failed. They pull the failure of Disney is in the last decade of movies and entertainment.
Yeah. No, I can see it.
Yeah.
I literally can see it.
Mhm.
You know, it's just because, you know, two of the biggest movies that should have done pretty well and had a horrible start from the get was Fantastic Four and you had Tron Ares.
Right.
Which either one of those IPs were rumored to finally, you know, spruce up Tomorrowland that desperately needs to just be knocked down and rebuilt. And, you know, everyone's all like, okay, cool, we're going to get Fantastic Four. They even had the meet and greet there with Herbie and all the characters.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty awesome. I went to that and it was pretty awesome to interact with Herbie. And it's just now it's like, okay, well, they went away. Now it's back to the popcorn bucket land that I call it. Because if you want to find a popcorn bucket that you can't find anywhere else, you just go into Tomorrowland and you'll find it. You know, and then you know, one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, since we're kind of going back and forth here, and we're talking about, you know, Disney kind of just lacking in these areas, you know, because they debuted Olaf, you know, the animatronic for Disneyland Paris for the World of Arendelle. I have to ask you guys, because we've seen different iterations of animatronics, you know, at the parks, whether it was the two droids in Galaxy's Edge, then we had Herbie. I think we had a couple other animatronics throughout the park at one point or another. Then we have this Olaf character going into Disneyland Paris. Don't you guys find it very, very, very interesting that they debut these animatronics for a little while to kind of get their face out there, and then all of a sudden they're put in the storage and you never see them again?
I do find that interesting, and I don't know why they do that, but that's spot on.
Cost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. It's truly sad because when you look at early concept art of Galaxy's Edge and you look at it like, and you start breaking it down, you're like, okay, well, I'm in Galaxy's Edge. I'm interacting with characters. I'm interacting with droids. I'm interacting with, you know, the Star Wars community. And now it's like, oh, great. Now we have, you know, oh my God, you have Boba Fett walking around, or you might have, you know, the Mandalorian. You might have, oh my God,
Baby Yoda, or I mean Grogu.
Yeah, Grogu. Then you have, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank here.
Who, Kylo Ren? Are we talking like?
Yeah, Kylo Ren, the Stormtroopers, and then just recently, this one kind of threw me for an edge, and I thought this was total AI, and it wasn't. So someone posted online they finally had Darth Vader.
Oh no, we talked
roaming around.
Mark and I talked about
Galaxy's Edge. I'm like, about damn time, man.
We talked about that on the podcast. Yeah. No, and you know whose opinion I'm curious about the animatronics is Lewis, if he's still in here. If you're still watching, I know it's 10 in your end of the world.
Yeah, he's in Florida.
Yeah. But I would like, because he knows his stuff with animatronics. But there's a couple of comments or questions in there, Mark. If you want to grab them real quick, please.
let's see. 7H John said, I think Lululemon store will be succeed if they put up things around it. Oh, I think it's going to be successful for
Anyway, yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
sure. Maybe add an Anthropology store next to it. Yeah, that's another clothing store that I don't go to.
Yep.
And then who's this?
That's one of mine. Remy D, 8767.
What's a crack-a-lack-in Remy D 8767? Yeah, so those are the comments. No, I thought that's a interesting point about the animatronics there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just they WDI spends all this money on these animatronics to debut them in the park, and then take them away. But then again, I understand it because again, I reference so much heavily on the subject when it comes to the international parks. For whatever reason, the guest behavior over there is so much more respectful to things in the parks from what I've seen, and cast members and all that stuff. And then you come out here and there's disrespectful people, entitled people that like to destroy things, and just abuse the rules in the parks. And it's sad because it ruins it for everybody. Like when I had you guys on Conductor Sunday live stream with OG, one of the things I showed towards the end was some kid in Epic Universe in Super Nintendo World climbing on the blocks where Mario and Luigi do a meet and greet. It's like, first of all, where's the parents? Second of all, if I was security at that theme park, I would say, you know what? I don't care if you are on vacation, you're out. You're kicked out for the rest of the day. There's no tolerance for that, because the liability, seriously, if that kid slips and falls, his foot caught in the mechanism up there, because you see, I think it's like I forgot, either a mushroom that goes back and forth or some type of mechanism that's up there. I think it might be the coins or whatnot. But if that kid either slips and falls off that thing or gets his foot caught in the mechanism, even though he was breaking the rules, his family could still sue the park and still get a fat settlement out of it, because there was no supervision above that. And that's the type of guest behavior we're seeing here in the domestic park. So when I bring up the whole animatronic situation, like Udi said, yeah, it has to do with finances, but it also has to deal with guest behavior, because it's atrocious out here. It's horrible.
Well, I think those will tie in. Break them. Yeah.
I know. I saw what Disney had mentioned. They're going to invest like over $1 billion in AI right now. Why don't you put that money towards the getting our attractions up?
Yeah,
we can argue. I personally, I think the investment in the AI is fine. My argument lies with the entertainment side, because the billions they've lost.
Oh yeah,
lost.
Yeah,
flat out lost. So,
See, this is a question I want to ask you both, especially you, Udi, because we one of the things I'm curious about is, with the up and coming contract ending for Bob Iger, and the new CEO is going to get announced sometime in the next couple months. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, it needs to be
shareholders and whatnot.
Yep.
My only question is, do they go back to having a single CEO, or do they go back to the original concept when the company was first started with Walt and Roy, two brothers who ran the company together? You had Walt focusing on the entertainment and the theme park aspect, and Roy was more the financial and kind of on that side of the company. Could we see a dual CEO happen here, where DeMauro, and I'm just throwing it out here, but DeMauro focuses more on the parks, on the experiences, maybe the cruise lines, and Dana Walden, who would be the second choice, kind of runs the financials, runs the entertainment, the media, all that stuff on that side. So that way, either side of the company doesn't suffer, because now you have two CEOs focusing one on one side of the company, one on the other side.
Well, I will tell you, if you want to look back, and I mean, to my recollection and thought, let me ask you this.
Sure.
In your opinion, what was the company running better when that system was in place, or when a single CEO was in place? In your opinion,
It
personally, varies. I know there's nuance, a little up and down there, but overall,
yeah, there was a gray line. I think personally, I think when we had the dual CEO, when the company first started, I think that was just a brilliant thing. I think the company was doing vibrant, it was doing well. The only reason we've been able to get away with it with Bob Iger, and then before that with oh my God, Michael Eisner, was because both gentlemen came from the entertainment industry and knew aspects of both sides of the coin. So in that regard, I think that has worked out. But to be fair, but to kind of hold Josh to the fire as close as I can without being disrespectful, I don't think he knows enough of the media side of the company. I don't think he really understands the financial aspect of the company, and I think his best abilities are on the entertainment, the theme park side, the cruise line, and stuff like that. And I think Dana Walden would be more beneficial on that financial side, and alongside with the studio, with the entertainment aspect, because she has that experience in it. So to answer your question, I think this go around, I think we do need to have a dual CEO. That way, either side of the company does not suffer.
Well, I agree with you on that. I really do. I feel where the company stands, there will be no one person who can run that, and the reason that no one company can, or no one CEO can run it, is because of the state of the company.
Yeah.
And you. So Bob Iger did great for the first 10 years. That man's expiration card hit a decade ago, flat out. I mean, I don't think he's had an original thought in a decade. And that may sound mean, and so be it. But I really don't, because his track record speaks for itself. It's same thing. Buy IP, break IP. Buy IP, break IP. Buy IP, break IP.
Yeah.
You can look back and you'll see it. So this is why I agree with you, but my rationale is a little bit different.
Sure.
Because I would say that if they're going to do that, and because it's a good idea, they won't. But yeah, Demaro does need to be in charge. Okay, he does need to be in charge of the park. He does need to be in charge of entertainment. He does, and he needs to be able to focus in on that. I don't agree with Dana Walden.
Okay.
I honestly, looking at what she's done, she doesn't deserve that. ABC is an abject failure, and when you look at it, so why would you promote, fail somebody upwards?
To answer your question real quick, Udi, I'm just throwing Dana Walden as just a suggestion, but any media person that has the experience,
right?
I think they need to be on that side of the company.
I agree.
I just don't feel that Josh Tomorrow can handle everything.
No, right. And my bigger point wasn't to like counter with you. It was more just to put my case as to why Dana Walden is not the choice. And that's really why, because I think she couldn't handle, because in my opinion, that's a sector that's more broken.
Yeah.
So you need somebody outside of the circle, which is such a tall order.
Yeah.
And is there really a person out there that could do it? I have a couple of names in mind, but they're worth too much money, and he likes fighting with Bob Iger. He could probably do it, but he won't do it. Other than that, I don't know. I'm not that deep with different company heads and CEOs to be able to be like, or maybe him.
Sure.
There's a lot of people out there, but you're right, Conductor, 100%, where they do need to have a person who is much more media savvy and understands the evolving. That's why the AI part of it. People go, AI is going to be such an expansion, not only into the park itself for entertainment, but also for the media side of it, right?
Yeah.
So that is something you need to have people who are going to AI. That's why I said, Mark, I don't have a problem with them spending money AI, because whether we like it or not, that's coming.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So they're going to have to. I'd rather them be ahead of the curve than behind, which they've been behind the curve for too long. So, so really, it's going to take two people. I think it's going to take two people, and the reason why I say Josh tomorrow, and I'm good with Josh tomorrow, and I hope he does get the job, because there is, when it comes to the parks and the entertainment side like that, you need somebody who is steeped in Disney culture for doing that.
Yeah.
That is something that isn't just picked up. It is built and developed even within us. As a kid, we enjoyed the park for one reason, but now as we're adults, you think about all the things we talk about. That was developed over time, and it's the same thing. So him, I hope that he does have that, and if it is a dual CEO, that he handles that and he takes full reign of that and has the ability to, slough off whatever downward pressure he gets from Iger. So I don't know. I hope it goes that way, but it probably won't. But
see, you make a great argument. And one of the things I want to see this go around, and I think all three of us can agree with this, is, when Chapek came in to take over, COVID didn't help. I think we can all agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, too, I really honestly felt that Chapek was very restricted on what he could do. He wasn't someone that can sit there and make decisions for himself. Most of the time, he was being played as, the face of the company, while we had Iger in the background making all these decisions. So I kind of hope this go around, even though Iger's going to stick around for a year, but be again in the back area of the company and not be in front of the cameras. I hope they restrict his ability and his influence.
Yeah.
That way it does not go through another Bob Chapek situation all over again. I don't think the company, like Udi's saying, we're at a fractured point right now, especially on the entertainment side of the company. And if we have another Chapek situation happen with tomorrow, either being a single CEO or a dual CEO situation, if we have Iger still on the board, but in the background still influencing the board and making decisions, even though he's not in front of the cameras, it is going to be absolutely detrimental to the company. Meanwhile, competitors like Comcast and Universal are just steamrolling ahead with their parks and experiences. I don't even think their media side is really that bad. I think they're doing pretty decent for what they have. And they're even looking at possibly getting into the cruise line industry. I've heard that multiple times. So,
oh man,
but I think you were spot on, Conductor, with Chapek not getting a fair deal. I think that's what Udi was picking up on, right?
Well, no, 100%. And actually, there is a nice. We covered it on our. We did a whole podcast. New York Times did a full article discussing exactly that, what happened there, and they interviewed a ton of people. And I wish I could find it. I had it saved on my phone for a long time because it's a long read, and I read it all, and we went into kind of a deep dive over that. But that's exactly what happened. Chapek was supposed to be the face and nothing else, and with Chapek, his great sin was going, hey, I can actually run this company, and I may be able to run it better than you, Bob.
Yeah.
And that was no.
And that pissed him off. And quite frankly, one of the things, and correct me if I'm wrong, Udi, some of the decisions he did have, though, I think was on the merch aspect and the pricing. He did do some things correct. But again, he was just a face for the company. And when stuff hit the fan, they blamed him, and no one knew Iger was calling the shots behind the scenes.
Yeah. No, I at the time, and I'll leave it at here is
Sure.
I called Chapek the devil we need, and in that moment, it
Yeah.
was the devil we need. I said give Chapek 3 years, maybe 5, and then he needs to be out. It didn't last that long, but that was my thought. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're
Because
not
of
wrong.
Yeah, because of the stage of the company was in with the pandemic and everything. To be fair, you think about what he had to do to keep that everything going. He did a pretty good job, and stock price went up. And there's a lot of things he did right. There's a lot of things I was very critical of, but overall, the health of the company was in better spot.
Yeah, by far.
Yep.
We do have a comment from Remy D. I believe that if Netflix pulls it off and buys Warner Brothers, it's a win for Disney. HBO and Netflix users will save money with a bundle deal and will have more money for Disney Plus.
So this is my thought process, because Netflix did buy WB, but they're still hammering out the details. Meanwhile, you got Paramount trying to do a hostile takeover and get support from the administration to do so. That's not going over real well, because WB just came out and put out an article or a post saying, if Paramount tries to throw us another offer, we're going to deny it again. And obviously the administration, unfortunately, did not want Comcast to buy WB, even though we all kind of thought that one had probably been the best move, not just for for the theme parks for Universal, but also for the streaming service, because I think we can all agree Peacock is just hurting so bad. And if they went to acquired HBO Max or wherever we call it nowadays, it's changed so many times. It wouldn't have been a great asset for Comcast, but because of and this is just my personal belief, not to get political, but I think there were some influences why Comcast was not able to buy WB. I think the administration had something to do with it, because they don't like NBC. And that's just my personal opinion. But I'm sure there's some more underlying stuff that happened. And to be honest, Comcast had a lot of debt too. They did have a lot of debt. But they I think, Udi, you could probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Saudis were gonna go halves with Comcast to put in the bid, and then they hired a law firm, some type of financial institution to assess WB.
Yeah, no, you're right. And then well, no, because this is not my wheelhouse exactly.
Sure.
So I'm picking up part of it. Yeah, so it was something there, and it wasn't quite evaluated to the same point. And so that is where we begin to come into the whole spiral of everything. The evaluations were not. Hold on. So the evaluations were the same, and so this is where the war began with that. And this is part of the hammering out of that is still left, I believe, is the evaluations part.
Yeah.
Whether it's worth it, and And I think the other part of it too is like, I mean, the argument you're going to have is, I can't think of the word, but basically, you can't monopolize. You can't have too many underneath there. So
no,
I personally, I kind of don't care, to be real. I mean, when I look at this kind of stuff, I'm like, these media companies get pushed around, and it's one conglomerate to another one. I don't know if I agree with the statement that it would have helped Disney Plus. I'm not sure about that. And the only reason why is because I think Disney Plus is its own problem. And that needs to get corrected on a high level. But I don't know. I can't call this one, because there's so many moving pieces to this right now. Because it could all fall apart. Even if they hammer out the deal, they could go to the government and they could be like, no.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I mean, they're gonna find one. If they don't want it to happen, they will find a reason.
Well, exactly, because and again, correct me if I'm wrong. I know it's not your wheelhouse, but I think even if the details are hammered, I think the FCC still has the role in this deal, and
They do. They do.
and the FCC is run by the administration, and if the administration doesn't agree with it, then the FCC is going to come back and say, "Nope, deal, nope, not happening," and go back to the drawing board. So
it could be. And there's I can't think of the expression. There's a term that is just evading my mind that they're going to go to. And if somebody in the chat knows the term, I can't think of it. But
isn't it Monopoly?
No, it's Monopoly. It's kind of like Monopoly, but it's not Monopoly. And literally, I was going to say it and just went right out of my head. But yeah, there's going to be. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean,
And Remy D has a good point. Like I said, Comcast had debt, so they have over $100 billion in debt. When the whole bid war was going on, the only reason I advocated for Comcast to buy WB out is because when you look, if you go to Universal and you look on the overlook from the upper part of the lot, WB is literally right next door. And the biggest problem Universal has, at least out here, is that we have a lot of sound stages because we are a movie lot. And we have a lot of sound stages, and people are complaining that Universal Hollywood, compared to their counterpart in Orlando, they're not getting as much stuff as quickly as they should because we are landlocked because of sound stages, because of neighbors adjacent around. So that's why I've always advocated for Comcast to buy WB. And I got excited when I heard they were entering the race. I got even more excited when I heard that, they had probably the Saudis that were going to help purchase WB and be a co-partnership with that. On top of that, they hired financial institutions to assess WB, but even WB had a lot of debt. So that's now Netflix's problem as well. And one of the good things that did come out of this deal, though, one of the good things I can say for Universal as a company and a theme park company at that is that Universal and Netflix have worked hand in hand throughout the years, bringing properties to the Universal Park. So I don't think renegotiating contracts like Harry Potter, some of the properties they bring for Halloween Horror Nights or Fan Fest nights or anything like that is going to be affected. I think, if anything, Netflix is going to work hand in hand with Universal to kind of pay back some of that debt that they had to borrow to buy WB. So I don't see that being a problem. I think I found it interesting that Paramount was even wanting to be involved, because what does Paramount have to offer? I really don't see it, because they wanted all of WB. And the biggest problem with WB, with Comcast and some of these other companies, is the linear. The linear is dead. Streaming is that, and that's a big problem.
Well, you bring up a point. The linear part of it, the carriage fees already been paid. That's why I said this is so complex. You can get into the weeds real fast with it. So I'm trying to be a big overview of it, but like I said, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. What you're saying, because at the end of the day, I'm like, how is that going to affect us? Like, really, so it's going to be like, I mean, are we really going to, as consumers, are we going to be like, oh great, we've now consolidated 1, 2, 3, 4 streaming service in the one? I mean, yeah, I mean, Disney tried to do that with with the Hulu purchase, and I think they honestly. Quick question: you guys both have Disney Plus, right?
I have Hulu, so
Hulu.
Okay, so Disney Plus. I have Disney Plus, and then through that I had Hulu, so mine melded.
Okay.
Does anyone else think that their whole screen and everything menu is just as atrocious?
It is
horrible and hard to work. Okay, thank you. Anyway, but going back to it, it's just a side and it just popped in my brain.
Sure.
But and this is where I go to. It's like, it's interesting because it plays into the greater thing of like what does this mean for future entertainment about the IPs that we do, like the Harry Potters, the whole like you go to DC and all that stuff, so it makes it interesting because it leaves us kind of in the dark about what are we going to get after it. So I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't care. Like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who winds up with any of that, with Warner Brothers or anything. It'll be because it's going to be something that's just going to happen. It's going to be out of my control, and I'll see what we get out of it. And hopefully, whoever does wind up winning this whole thing and everything gets hammered out, that we get good stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Like we have more things to be entertained with and have a good time with, and probably more things to kind of create community around. So yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, well, we went a little bit longer tonight, but that's okay. It's always a really good conversation when we get conductors on. We probably could go at least another hour, but I know Udi's got stuff going on tonight.
Yeah.
Abdu and conductors probably got a couple other shows to be on tonight.
Probably. I'm waiting on the text.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Okay, but so we're not going to go next Wednesday. It's Christmas Eve, but in 2 weeks it'll be New Year's Eve, and if you're available sometime in the afternoon, maybe we could do a 2026 prediction show for LTP Lounge. Are you working that day, or
you know what? Let me take a look.
I work that day.
I could tell you right now. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I am working that day, and I am planning on going to Eve at Universal Hollywood that night. So I could probably do a live show in between that.
So what time is that for you?
I'll probably leave here from where I'm at. Probably, I don't know, probably about 3 o'clock my time.
Okay.
So to get down there.
Okay, so anytime before, and you're off at what time, Udi?
2:30. You guys can go. I can't. I'll be working.
Okay.
Unless for some weird thing they go half day.
Okay.
Which can't
maybe.
Well, yeah, we can plan on maybe like 2 o'clock or something on that day. Just go like 2 to 3, and maybe get OG 55 if he's there. But I like to do that once before the year's up.
Yeah, it'd be fun. But we'll see. We'll see if I can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And so anyone that's watching the show right now, please do click and subscribe to this channel. We've been doing it for like a year, but we haven't been doing it that aggressively. But now we're gonna go every Wednesday from 6 to 7 Indy time. That's Pacific time. And then check out our regular podcast, Even Today podcast. You can find us at any streaming service. We're there. And Conductor, where can people find out more information about you?
Absolutely, and I want to thank you both for allowing me to come on another episode. Like you said, Mark, we can go a couple hours just going back and forth on all these topics. It's always a great time. But you can find me Theme Park Conductor on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Instagram at theme_park_conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor. Also on TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we break Universal and Disney news down. We talk about speculation, we interact with the chat, we talk about rumors, and we have amazing guests like the one and only LTP Lounge crew. Mark and Udi, always great to have them on. We had them on a little while ago with Orange Go 55. Can't wait to have them both back on because all four of us share that chemistry that we can go on for hours talking about the theme parks and breaking it down. So it's always a great time.
Love it. Well said. And Justin, from one of your more recent videos, I guess you can find Conductor at Raising Cane's in the City Walk.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I am a big Raising Cane's fan. I do love it. I do have to give credit to KFC, the old school chicken places, even Chick-fil-A. But I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is with Raising Cane's. It just hits the spot. It's simple. It reminds me of In-N-Out. It's a simple menu. It's not complex. and I could just go in there, grab it, and get out. So can't
Love it. Okay, real quick, what is your in and out order, conductor?
In and out order. Okay, so a number one, double, no tomato, grilled onions,
Oh yeah.
and fries. And usually I'll get a large vanilla shake because I love their shakes.
There
So
you go. Awesome.
Oh yeah, good order.
Solid. Okay, love it. And we definitely appreciate you coming on, conductor. It's always a great time. And I look forward to our next talk. And I also look forward to being able to at some point walk the parks with you and hang out for the day. And
Yep.
That's gonna be great.
Yep.
by far.
Oh, what does she say? Conductor Sunday Fun Day. All right.
I love it.
And thanks to everyone out in the chat who asked questions and participated. Let's keep this train going, I guess.
Yeah.
No pun intended. All right. So until next time, we love you. We'll see you in the parks, adventures out there.
See it.